This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, April 6th. I'm Tori here with Lindsay and Al, my pals. I'm Tori, as I said twice now. Let's get started. Believe it or not, we have got some sports-related stories today.
Ooh, I'm thrilled.
Lindsay's really into it. But if you're not into sports, don't worry. There's a lot more going on here. So first off, let's talk. Did you see last night's Texas Rangers home opener in Arlington, Texas? The game was played in front of a max capacity crowd. I'm sure Lindsay loves that. Around 40,000 people. If you take a closer look, you can see that a lot of folks were wearing masks, but still others were not. Plus, with everyone packed together, it was impossible to maintain social distancing. So we all knew it was going to happen at some point, the first sold-out sporting event since the start of the pandemic. But what do you think? Is this still too soon? Would you have gone? For me, too risky. I know we're at the end. I get it. But I don't want to go there. Too soon.
You know you wouldn't catch me dead in that thing. Like, it's not even an option. I don't know what's going on. I know that they were saying masks were mandated unless you were eating or drinking, but mind you, in Texas, it's not actually any type of implementation, so I don't know how that works. Do you follow the governor's rule or do you follow the park's rule?
And at a baseball game, I'm constantly eating and drinking, so I was like, that's all the whole game.
Yeah, so you're never not having your mask on. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Let's say you were double vaccinated, right? Let's say you've been vaccinated, it's been 2 weeks. Would you have gone out?
I would not have gone. And you know what?
You don't really like people.
No.
That's not that. I don't like big crowds. We've discussed this. I think I got lost at the circus when I was like 6, and that scarred me.
Seems like it.
Yeah, I don't like that, but I get it. And you know, I've been reading articles from some scientists that said that it's time to put the air quotes the show away, in terms of there shouldn't, when you walk into a store, there shouldn't be cleaning products and everything everywhere. We need to start to kind of assimilate back into regular life. I have been reading more of those articles. Do I agree with them? There are things I do, there are things I don't. But at some point, we do have to dip a toe back in.
But wasn't the point
I don't know.
Wasn't the point of putting on a mask to protect your fellow person? So it wasn't more about you, it was about everyone else is wearing their mask to protect you. So as much as people are getting the vaccine, and I'm super thrilled about that, still wear a mask and still protect people who haven't gotten the vaccine. It's kind of ridiculous that it's like, well, I'm good, so now I don't care about you.
Right.
The same people that needed to care about me during the beginning of this pandemic.
I always have said from the beginning, it's patriotic to wear that mask. It is saving others, and during war, people have done a lot more than wear a mask, so I think we can handle that. All right, more about that Rangers game. Texas Governor Greg Abbott was supposed to throw
What
out
if you
this.
just started giving out scores and just like, he's like, what is this?
I would be so lost.
Lindsay would just this analysis.
I would walk off set.
Picture.
Glenn Doyle got 3 RBIs. Greg Abbott, the governor, was supposed to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, but after Major League Baseball moved its All-Star game out of Georgia, he sent a letter saying no thank you. He also said Texas would no longer host any future special events for MLB. Speaking of the All-Star game, there are reports that it will now be played right here in Denver at Coors Field, not far from where we sit right now. So what do you think about Governor Abbott snubbing MLB and the game likely being in Denver? What do you think about Abbott?
I just think it's getting petty now. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, now I'm going to respond like this. I think the MLB was trying to do what a lot of us criticize other sports leagues for taking so long to do. It's like saying this isn't right, so we're taking a firm stance on an issue. And I know that a lot of people want to separate sports from politics, but it's hard when a lot of people who are in sports actually have family members that are going to have trouble voting or harder times getting to a ballot box. It's real life.
To me, it's become like cancel culture to the most. Everyone's complaining about cancel culture. I'm like, now you won't throw the ball? Like, really?
Yeah, I mean, but you know what we always say, it can't be cancel culture, because when you cancel something, it's like a dam, and you try and plug it with one finger and it shoots out from somewhere else. You say we're not going to have it in Atlanta. Denver's like, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
And now they're going to take it, and that's the thing that you need to be aware of when you decide to say that you're not going to do something. Is there's always somebody that will. So Denver took advantage. And Georgia took a stand, so I feel like, again, both parties win.
Yeah, very interesting. Denver's a great place, guys. Great
It really is.
Sunsets, breweries, beautiful air.
You're embracing your inner real estate agent.
Okay. Location.
You just need a blazer now.
Right.
That hairstyle, red blazer and a minivan.
Oh my God, I had a red blazer on the other day, and Al clowned me for the entire day about it.
Someone already told me I had a mom haircut.
No, I like your hair. The vote is your hair is beautiful.
Thanks. And I love moms. I'm just not one yet. NBA analyst and former Celtics player Paul Pierce is out of a job. Have y'all heard this? It was all over the Instagram Live video he posted on Friday, showing him surrounded by scantily clad women. He was also smoking what appears to be a marijuana cigarette or blunt, which we had to
You sound like
censor.
you're talking to 8th graders. Like you go to
I did
middle
that on
schools.
purpose.
You guys in your hip hop and your weed.
Your marijuana cigarette. Pierce previously worked at the ESPN as part of their NBA Countdown pregame show since he retired from the sport in 2017. Pierce, who is married, seemed to address it in this tweet saying, I can't lose. Even when I lose, I'm winning, with awesome emojis. So the question is, what was he thinking, and was ESPN right for firing him? I mean, I don't think you could smoke weed with like strippers in the back, and still, like, ESPN probably has a moral clause in their contract.
Okay, time out. Like, is it immoral to have a stripper around you? Is that what we're doing? Or is it illegal to have weed around you and ESPN is based in Connecticut? Because if that's the argument, because it's not a federal, like, law that we can all have weed, then I understand ESPN saying we're letting you go. But if it's because he has strippers, ESPN needs to stop. Like, that's actually leisure time and all legal activity.
However, ESPN's moral clause doesn't have to be what's actually legal. It can be like, we want to uphold a very strict standard.
So we'll pretend like the other host never been to a strip club before.
Well, they haven't
morally.
been on ESPN Live doing it.
He wasn't on ESPN Live. He was on Paul Pierce Live.
Instagram Live doing it. So, I mean, I'm just taking the other side here. I agree it's legal.
You know what? And I'll say this because I talked with the homies on the group thread about this.
I like how you say the homies.
And I was shocked that a lot of people feel like Lindsay does. I looked at it like, you know, I look at Lindsay's Instagram I don't see any. I don't see any. I don't see any blunts.
I think that Paul Pierce is silly for posting this. Yes, but that's a grown man who has a full career playing 18 years in the NBA. I think he's not hurting for money. But I think like the strippers part is the part that's like, oh, I can't believe. You can't believe. Really, OnlyFans is booming. You can't believe.
Disney. He works for Disney.
Explain that. ESPN is owned by Disney.
Look over here. I'm right over here.
I just think, okay, we're all pretending like Disney and every employee there is so PG and perfect. Great. If we want to do that.
A lie. I'm saying Disney has to keep their lie going that we're a family show in our family situation. They can't associate their brand with that. I get it. It's not illegal.
So
have at it.
I agree with you, but why would Paul Pierce do that knowing he's a smart guy? Was he trying to get out of
I think that's the bigger question. What do you think?
What if he just went to the strip club? Would he then get fired also? Like a lot of people, there was an NBA player who got caught at the strip club during COVID, and let's say he goes on to be an analyst because he's a very popular player. Like, does that mean, oh no, you're not fitting in with the Disney brand? Like, you telling me Shaq never did anything inappropriate in his life?
But did Instagram live it with things we can't even show on a daytime TV show?
We talked about weed on a daytime TV show,
Agreed,
so I don't know.
Did we show the scantily, as it said in the prompter, scantily clad women? I'm just saying,
okay,
Disney.
Let's take it away.
He doesn't have a daytime TV show.
And they were dancing.
What time does the show come on? During the NBA
This is my
games?
question for you guys. Our own Sam Shocker, who hosts another one of our shows, she has a candle company. Let's say I started representing that and tweeting out about that. And all of a sudden I start doing posts where I start trying to bring people back from the dead, and I have pentagrams with her candles around that. Is she then allowed to say, I don't want to associate my candles with your demonic pentagrams?
For sure. I'm just saying, like, the moral clause is so vague, or ethics clause at companies are so vague that it's very, very disturbing to me when they're saying it is vague. Because what is the thing? If he got fired for weed is one thing. If he got fired for strippers, I disagree with that.
I think it's the image he projected on Instagram Live.
But he's been a fool. This man got in a fight when he was on the Celtics. I mean, with the freaking people in the audience. Like, I don't even know sports, and I know this man been a fool with it. Like, I know this.
Her homie plays in the NBA, and she still barely knows anything about it.
I'm just saying, this man has not been like the most cleanest cut person for Disney in the first place, and they hired him, and now they want him to be perfect.
What I did hear, which I thought was interesting, is that ESPN would not have fired him if somebody else had leaked that footage. But because he uploaded it, that's where the problem came.
That is interesting. All right, well, let us know what you guys think here on Facebook and YouTube. Someone just wrote in, demonic pentagrams, LOL, is hilarious.
They're legal. They're legal.
I agree with you. I know people who write employee contracts for a living, and that moral clause is very vague for a reason. It makes a big bubble. Really big bubble. Did you like that?
I did.
Thanks. All right, we have to give a big DBL shout out to the Baylor's men's basketball team. They won their first ever NCAA championship last night. The Baylor Bears put an end to Gonzaga's undefeated season in a blowout victory, 86-70. I was really sad, Gonzaga. I was sad that they lost that undefeated. They lost the one game. Was it all worth it?
I can't believe it's another story about sports. I just can't believe it.
It was the Final Four March Madness.
Does that obviously you didn't win the title, so then you're upset. But 30 wins and 1 loss is a great season. But would that?
It doesn't mean anything.
Does it not mean anything?
That's great. I'm so excited for this team. That's great news. It means a lot to everybody who won.
When you don't know what's going on. I love it. All right, coming up on DBL, a synchronized swimmer's inspiring story of success. A lot of S's. How she showed the haters what she's really made of in our series, Strong Women. Inside and out. Look at that. And First Lady Jill Biden's style choice is making headlines. Oh, yeah, we're talking about it. What do you think of her fishnet pattern tights? That's next.
Closed captioning provided by
This so-called double mutant variant was first discovered in India. As you can guess, this variant contains 2 mutations to the coronavirus. The mutations have been seen before in different variants. One is similar to a so-called California variant. The other was found in variants discovered in Brazil and South Africa. The first case of this double mutant in the U.S. was diagnosed in a patient in the San Francisco area. So what does this mean? experts are concerned that these mutations make the variant more contagious. That's because both help the virus latch onto cells. India first revealed its existence in March, and now cases are surging in the country. In one hard-hit Indian state, political leaders claim the new variant is not necessarily to blame, instead pointing fingers at large gatherings. More research is needed on this double mutant variant, but experts are hopeful that current vaccines will be effective against it. Despite the lack of hard data, they point to the fact that the vaccines work on these same mutations seen individually in other variants. But the emergence of these new variants of concern reinforces to health officials that widespread vaccinations are needed to stop the creation of new mutations.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our coworkers tuning in from home during the pandemic. We'll see you guys all soon. There's Carrie, there's Anthony. Hi, Anthony. All right, no matter who is in the White House, there is always a lot of pressure on the First Lady, especially when it comes to what they wear, and Dr. Jill Biden is no different. So Twitter went crazy over these pictures of the 69-year-old First Lady who was photographed wearing a black skirt, booties, and a pair of fishnet patterned tights. A lot of people on Twitter did not like the look. One person tweeting, "Jill Biden is just too old to be wearing fishnets. It's gross." Another saying, "It's not just the fishnets, it's the whole mess. A mini skirt, all black, not too springy. The outfit is ugly for a woman of any age." But some disagreed, saying Dr. Jill Biden's tights were not fishnets. Also, they were cute and she rocked them. I have a strong take on this, and it's about First Ladies, but I want to hear your point of view. First off, as just seeing her right off, did you immediately think that's inappropriate? I just want to get your take, your first take.
I didn't think it was inappropriate, but I was like, wow, that's a different outfit for a First Lady. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't show up to work with that outfit on.
Right. And what if she was going on like a date night with Joe?
Great, but usually they come right off the Air Force or the plane and go on a date?
Well, they get to use that plane when they want.
When you're right. I want to hear your stand.
Were you?
What are y'all talking about?
What?
She looks like she is about to go to the Viper Room in LA in '86. She's the First Lady, Lindsay. You're not going to the 40-40 Club. She cannot dress like that.
She can use it wherever
if
she
Melania wore that, she would get lit up, and you know it.
Let's talk about Melania, because I remembered her she posed nude for many, many years. She also wore a jacket saying, "I don't really care, do you?"
Let's talk about this outfit.
Okay, but I'm more worried that is getting, what you say is, this is getting like so much hype, and we forget that other First Ladies out there have also done things. I also want to say First Ladies are human. They're human beings. They're women.
They're First Ladies.
They're
too.
sexy women. Like Betty Ford had dealt with addiction
fishnets and pumps.
No, but she dealt with addiction, and she had the Betty Ford Center. They're human beings that are sexy and unsexy and make mistakes. They are not to be held to some greater power that they can't do that. I think she looked great.
You cannot have it both ways. You cannot say, "I'm the First Lady," and with that becomes a certain set of privileges, a certain set of moral standards that you are asked to uphold.
So fishnets isn't moral?
Yeah, it's not appropriate.
Were you mad at Michelle Obama when she wore shorts? Because that was a look that everybody wasn't used to either.
Or no stockings.
I'm
Remember,
talking about when you're being filmed coming off Air Force
She was being
One,
filmed. She had on
shouldn't come
shorts.
straight.
And I thought Michelle Obama should be able to do what she wants. I'm used to seeing them in a nice dress that looks like they're about to go to a public event, but like there's 365 days in every year, and every day there's not something for the First Lady to do, I'm sure.
And she also works out extensively, has a great body that can rock those tights. She's not too old. Old women should feel able to be sexual.
If that argument was never made for Melania. Never.
But you also know that some things, like, you know, if my mom came out with a crop top, I would probably get annoyed.
Okay.
Right? That's what I'm saying. If my mom came out with a crop top, I would say, you know,
upset.
that's
Why
not.
are you annoyed, Lindsay?
Because I wouldn't want her to have that on. That's my mom.
But you would get annoyed, but do you think she shouldn't have the right
She should have the right, but come on, you need to like also be in the right state of mind in your life at this age and not wear a crop top. I think that she would agree with me. And when I'm somebody's mom and my daughter is 30 plus, I will be like not walking around with a bralette either.
Okay, but a crop top's different than an all black outfit with a little like pop. Yes, it was short skirt.
Okay, and it looked like a leather short skirt or like.
Oh my gosh! How dare it be leather?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want my first lady
I'm swooning.
to look like the lamp from Christmas Story.
So you didn't like the fashion, but was it unprofessional as a first lady?
It was a little sassy. It looked like a Grease outfit or something. It was,
It's not. Can we have some decorum?
That's not don't go that far. Wow. It's not having no decorum.
This
is not a good outfit.
How about we dress right now? We are at work. I'm not in a tank top because we are at work.
Was she at a professional event, or was she going somewhere you don't know privately?
I don't know. It definitely was a club that lets in the back alley. She looks like she's going to party at a 2 a.m. club. That is a we're going out to party outfit, which if she's doing that, it's fine.
Be careful talking about women's clothing because that is a long historical context, am I right?
Lady,
and she wasn't representing the First Lady right then, and she's allowed to rock it, and she looks good. All you 70-year-olds, write me in and get on Al. All right.
Oh, wow. He's about to get attacked.
At the Air Force One.
All right.
All you want.
That's their plane. Coming up on DBL, a synchronized swimmer tells us about overcoming hardship and bullying. This is an incredible video. Why you should never be afraid to make waves. Next in our Strong Women Inside and Out series.
Verify exists to bring you the facts about the misinformation that's spreading on social media. A viewer sent us this Facebook post, which makes a couple claims about phone scams, like this. If you press *#90 or #09* while on the phone with another caller, they can, quote, access your SIM card, make calls at your expense, and frame you as a criminal. Sounds pretty out there, so let's verify if there's any truth to this. Our sources are the FCC and Kane McGladrey, a member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. And they say that there's a grain of truth here, but that's all. The FCC has this warning on their website, that if someone calls your office phone and you dial these numbers, they could, quote, place calls that are billed to your office telephone number. That just means that they could transfer the call. But McGladrey told us that this only goes for office phones. Quote, this doesn't affect cell phones or residential landlines. So while it's true that this could make calls at your expense, the claim that they can access your SIM card is false. And as for the claim that they could frame you as a criminal, not so much. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back to DBL. Moving far away from your hometown can make anyone feel like a fish out of water. But today, our featured strong woman shows us that even when you're the outsider, it's okay to make some waves. Check it out.
My name is Kristina Makushenko, and originally I'm from Moscow. I did artistic swimming for a little bit over 13 years, and I achieved the level of 4-time world champion and 2 times European champion in synchronized swimming. So I'm an artist, and I always had that ever since I was a baby. So I think that's why synchronized swimming matched me so well. I feel like I own this pool. I want to show up, and it's like, it's like a show underwater. During my sport career, I went through a lot of hard things. At the age 11, that's when I started getting better in synchronized swimming, and that's when I, for the first time, feeling a little bit being bullied. When I was bullied, I never understood what I was doing wrong, and am I the bad one or they're the bad ones? And then my family had to move to Miami, and obviously I had to move with them. I felt here that I was a little bit like a stranger, Everyone would ask me, I have an accent where I'm from. So I really try to not listen what other people tell me or what they will think. I try to do what I really think so and what I think is right. After the pandemic started, obviously, everything shut down, and I started doing videos just for fun, just for myself, because TikTok was trending at that time. And honestly, it was just a usual day. I just posted on my TikTok in the evening, I remember, and then in 30 minutes, I got my first 1 million views. I was like, what? I memorized the beat a couple times before I go underwater and just played in my head. I'm trying to make a real art, which I think people will love it. But the sport itself really helped me to grow as a person. I'm thankful for who I am. And I really don't care right now what people will tell me, if I will do those silly dances. Sometimes I get the, comments, why do I do that? I do what I want. I do what I love. My advice will be, don't really do what people tell you. Do what you think is right.
That is unbelievable. I can't even look underwater. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
It's been widely reported that the Minneapolis Police Union is paying for Derek Chauvin's defense. The prosecution even brought it up in court.
The Police Federation, the union, is funding the defendant's defense.
But that's not exactly true. So let's verify. Is the Minneapolis Police Union funding Chauvin's defense? Our sources, the Minneapolis Police Union and the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association. In a text, the president of the police union, known as the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis, tells me they are not paying for Chauvin's defense. The head of the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association tells me they're the ones footing the bill. So what's the difference? Well, the MPPOA is a larger association that police unions all over Minnesota pay to be part of. The Minneapolis Police Union is a member. And since Derek Chauvin was on the force when the incident happened, he was a member too. Now, one of the benefits of that membership is a legal defense fund to represent officers if criminal charges come up after a critical incident. Even though Chauvin was fired after George Floyd's death, the MPPOA's bylaws say he's entitled to that defense, since he was acting in the scope of his duties as a police officer. I spoke with Brian Peters, the head of the MPPOA. He tells me we can't pick and choose which cases we're going to defend or not defend. Eric Nelson, Chauvin's attorney, is one of the lawyers the MPPOA works with. How much it'll cost them, Peters doesn't know. They haven't gotten any bills, though he says their prior cases have run between $375,000 and $500,000. He says people are calling to donate, but they're not taking that money, though other organizations are helping Chauvin with other expenses. So we can verify, no, the Minneapolis Police Union is not funding Derek Chauvin's defense. It's the larger Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association paying those legal fees. With your Verify, I'm Gabe Cohen.
Welcome back to DBL. We're helping you save money on insurance. So did you know a simple lifestyle change can influence your premiums? Let me tell you about some. And we're chatting about it in today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. First up, exercising can make a big difference. Just a few pounds can lower your premium. Second, quit smoking. That will save you big bucks and have a huge impact in the eyes of an insurance underwriter and for your lungs. Lastly, improving your driving record can also save you cash. Once you've made a few changes, check back with an insurer for the best quote possible. We've made it easy when it comes to quality and affordable insurance. The Buck's got your back. The Hartford will be happy to provide you solutions. Call The Hartford at 1-800-684-6085 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. Very helpful. I got a lot of clap back from people on the Biden outfit.
Okay.
So Cindy is very upset with me on Facebook. Fair. Tori, the First Lady, is always on duty. She is a public icon and as such should always be on point whenever she is in public. That being said, she looked fine, just a bit edgy.
There we go.
Someone said, I'm a 67-year-old woman, Marilyn, in excellent shape, but I would not wear what Flotus was wearing, inappropriate. And someone says, Lynn says, I'm an 80s rocker. I go to concerts weekly. She looked fantastic.
Didn't I say that outfit was perfect for a concert? Oh, she and I get along. And Al checks out now. I'll take that win.
Cool. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow.